monastery. A voice echoes inside me. Some would just say that's make-believe. Then I became a teacher, and everyone was glad to meet her, and they will all become like family. But life changed for me here, both smiles and tears, though there were painful times and fears. But with them all beside me, I won't run nor hide. Just like the wind, they'll take me for a ride. Fighting gold, a promise we uphold. Just like an archer ready to fight, we'll be shot out like an arrow until we reach our goal. For those who stand beside me, and for the future that we wish to see, and together we will watch our future unfold. Fighting gold.
Hang in there, Lady Rhea.
Take her to her room, now.
Goddess, please save Lady Rhea. All we can do now is pray.
Remember when this place was taken 5 years ago and a pure white beast appeared on the battlefield? I only caught a glimpse of it, but I didn't understand where it came from. There were rumors that the goddess sent it to protect the monastery. But now I know better. That beast was Rhea.
I mean, she tried to save me.
Did you know Rhea's true identity?
Thinking back, before I went into my 5-year coma, I guess I really did, and I just didn't bring it up because, my personality, I'm pretty quiet about my stuff that I think.
I once showed you a picture of a creature known as the Immaculate One. Sedith confiscated it, saying it must have been one of Tomas's personal possessions. The beast that appeared back then looked just like it. So Rhea is the Immaculate One. The book said that it was a servant of the goddess, but wouldn't it make sense if beasts like that are actually children of the goddess? Rhea is in a grim state right now. It's possible she may not make it, but we have things we must ask her about. Once things calm down a little, let's go and see Rhea. Together. The truth can't be delayed any longer.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Verdant Rain Moon. Fodlan's New Dawn. With the destruction of Shambhala, the ambitions of those who slither in the dark are forever shattered. However, Rhea has suffered grievous injuries in the process. Yet, certain mysteries remain unsolved, so Claude and the others approach Rhea, who is now confined to her room due to her wounds.
I am happy to see you two.
Sorry to interrupt your rest. But there are some things that we absolutely must ask you.
It seems I do not have much time left. I do not intend to hide anything any longer.
Rhea, I have to ask, you're the Immaculate One, aren't you? If what I'm thinking is correct, that's what the children of the goddess is referring to. In other words, you...
I am the last child of the progenitor god. A long time ago, the progenitor god came from somewhere far away and descended upon this continent. She changed her form to resemble that of a human and gave her own blood to birth her children. The progenitor god and her children shared knowledge and skills with the people of the land. Together, they built a prosperous civilization. But the humans turned their backs on the teachings of the progenitor god and engaged in senseless wars. Eventually, people began to think of themselves as gods, and challenged the progenitor god herself to battle. The land was scorched in the war that ensued, and the majority of humans were annihilated. I believe that those who slither in the dark are the descendants of those who retreated beneath the ground during that time.
So they'd been waiting all that time for their chance at revenge.
It took the progenitor god an astonishing amount of time to revive the ravaged world. But eventually, the continent found peace again, and the progenitor god, having fulfilled her duty, fell into a long slumber in the Holy Tomb. The children who stayed behind built a settlement in Xanadu to protect the Holy Tomb as they quietly lived out their lives. But then, Nemesis appeared, bringing tragedy along with him. Even now, I cannot forget the sight of that massive canyon painted red with blood. I was never able to forgive those who proudly wielded weapons crafted from the corpses of my brethren. I was the only survivor of Xanadu, and all I could do was wander across Fodlan, clinging to my desperate desire for revenge. I called myself Seros, fostered the founding of the Empire, and prepared to oppose Nemesis and his followers.
Unbelievable.
I put Xanadu behind me to gather the remaining children who were scattered across Fodlan. Finally, we killed Nemesis on the Tailtean Plains, and I took back the Sword of the Creator.
Let me get this straight. Saint Seros is you? You're kidding me, right?
Professor, Claude, there's something you need to hear right away.
If you have something to report, do so at once. There is no need to let my presence worry you.
As you wish. We're receiving a constant stream of express messengers from cities to the east. They claim that an unidentified military force is attacking, and that there have already been a large number of casualties.
What?
The reports indicate that the cities and towns along the East Gronder thoroughfare in the Old Rim territory have already been destroyed. Some villages were razed completely, leaving no survivors.
Damn it! Did they come from Shambhala? Could it be that there were some remnants of that wicked group hiding there?
I have a report. The unidentified military force has crossed the Great Bridge of Murden. Alliance forces met them in battle, but it seems they have already broken through.
They've already made it so far. Is Count Gloucester unharmed?
The Count is fine, but apparently my brother joined with reinforcements and was gravely injured.
Do you mean to tell me they easily got past a general as skilled as Holst?
They say the enemy general has a weapon that resembles the Sword of the Creator. Even my brother was powerless to stop him.
The Sword of the Creator?
That's not possible.
The enemy forces are flying a banner bearing the crest of flames as they continue their march west along the Aramid River.
We believe they're marching toward Garreg Mach. We are preparing to meet them in battle.
A weapon that resembles the Sword of the Creator, and banner bearing the crest of flames. There is only one explanation. The one leading the enemy force is Nemesis himself.
Nemesis? That Nemesis? Do you really think the ancient king of liberation has been brought back to life?
Perhaps the seal was broken when Shambhala fell. An incredible power that we children cannot hope to match dwells within the blood of the progenitor god. Nemesis obtained that blood, so it would not surprise me if that were the case.
The blood of the progenitor god. That's right. He did take the remains from the Holy Tomb, didn't he?
From the blood of the progenitor god, so this, he acquired the crest of flames. From her bones and heart, he crafted the Sword of the Creator.
The Sword of the Creator is made from her bones and heart?
The heart of Sothis is the crest stone that was placed in the Sword of the Creator. The same is true of the crests of the 10 elites and the other crest stones. They were born of the blood and hearts of the progenitor god's children. Those who slither in the dark created them, stole them. So was never gifted that power to the humans.
The crests of the 10 elites, the crest stones, and the heroes' relics. I can't believe those who slither in the dark made them all. And after that, Nemesis used the Sword of the Creator to massacre all of the Progenitor God's children in Xanadu. In other words, the citizens of Xanadu were killed by weapons made from the remains of their brethren. How atrocious. But I don't get it. The Sword of the Creator that Teach wields doesn't have a crest stone. So how is Teach able to wield its full power?
The crest stone of the Progenitor God dwells within your professor. After I battled with Nemesis as Saint Seros, I reclaimed the heart of Sothis. I wanted to use that heart to resurrect her, even though I had to do some questionable things to achieve that goal. I wished to see Sothis, my mother, once more. Yes, I believed that if I could resurrect my mother, I could regain all that had been lost.
So, that's the truth of it.
I suspected that your body housed the consciousness of Sothis. Those suspicions were correct. And yet, she merely gave you her power and vanished. My dearest wish did not come true. But you did inherit the power of the Progenitor God. Now, you must use that power to defeat Nemesis once and for all. Fodlan's blood-stained history must end.
Well, my lovely child of the internet, this is it. Welcome to the last section of Fire Emblem Three Houses, The Golden Winds. Well, it seems like the King of Liberation from the last episode at the end decided that, hey, I'm not dead anymore and I want to ruin everybody's day. And I'm like, wow, that's quite rude. We just killed the people who resurrected you. You should be, no, I want to kill everyone. And I'm like, cool, I guess. If you want to be petty, I suppose that's what you can do. So, there's not going to be very many episodes left. We're going to be just talking to everybody about fighting the King of Liberation. Then we're going to have supports next time, and then the final map. So, hope you guys are ready, because this is about to be a whirlwind of a week. So let's do this. Hey, who's in here? Oh, Claude. Well, we'll talk to you last, because you probably have the most important stuff to say. Let's go to Abyss. And if you're wondering, no, I'm not going to be doing any more grinding for the rest of the game. We are just straight going for it.
Please.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. A nosy little bird told me some undead jerk is coming to attack us. That's just silly though. Pure silly. On a personal note, I'm, chewing on an idea. Marriage. I'm thinking of getting hitched. If I do, I may have to move up top. I'd like to leave this place on my own 2 feet, not in a body bag. I want to live. For her. So, please win this one, Professor. Do it for all of us.
I'm glad you got your final arc, dude. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Anyways, let's go talk to these two.
Professor!
In the end, I guess it's a good thing Holst isn't joining us. If Nemesis could rough up my buddy that bad, he must be tough as hell.
We gotta win no matter what.
Damn straight. Between the two of us, we can't lose. Not to mention our allies. Death has nothing on us. I swear to avenge Holst. Huh? He doesn't have to be dead to be avenged. Don't play semantics with me.
Fair enough.
I won't allow my... Pardon. Our dream to be snuffed out by one who should be long dead. The coming battle will demonstrate to all the world the power that I, Constance von Nouvelle, wield.
I look forward to that.
You shall know it when you see it.
Alright. At least everybody's riled up to do this. That's all you can really ask for at this point in the state of the game, right? Alright.
I came here with my grandpa, but then he fell down, and now he's not moving anymore. Did my grandpa die? I don't know what to do.
Game, I really hate this. They know what they're doing when they do this.
My mommy and daddy went to a field. They're still not back yet.
Shake my head. Shake my head. They knew what they were fucking doing with that line. I'm sorry. I try not to curse very much in these games, but like, man, they knew what they were doing. I was like, my grandpa fell. I don't know what to do. I'm like, they give me only two options. Both of them are the really dumb answers that I already know what they're setting up for. I guess there's nobody else to talk to in Abyss. But before we end off, let's go ahead and check one more time over all of our teachings. Because like I said, we're not grinding anymore. We're going to be finishing up this game. So let's take one last look over everybody.
Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth.
She still B. That's okay.
Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed.
Alright, A. That's what I like to see.
Now let me see. I expect much from this
what I like to
yes,
see.
Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this
A. What I like to see.
Now let me see. I expect much from this one.
Perfect.
Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes,
Perfect.
indeed. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes,
Man,
indeed.
all my students are so
Now
great.
let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see.
Look at all these guys.
I
Damn,
expect
Petra.
much from this one. Yes, indeed.
Damn, girl.
Now let me see. I expect
Even
much
Mercedes,
from
the
this
late
one. Yes,
bloomer, got
indeed.
everything. And then our
Now
boy.
let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes,
He's
indeed.
he's the best glass cannon we got. Alright.
Fare thee well.
Now time to head up back to the surface.
Fodlan is essentially no more. We have nothing standing between us and Nemesis. If we're defeated, the whole land will be in great danger. We have no choice but to stake our lives on stopping the enemy.
Of course. I won't stop until we do.
I hear some super strong and evil fellas are after Lady Rhea. She just barely made it back to Garreg Mach. And then this has to go and happen? I'll protect Lady Rhea as best I can. And you're gonna do the same thing, aren't you, Professor? Yeah, I know you will. Cut him down, Professor. Get every last one of those guys.
Okay, don't act like Dimitri now, please. Listen. We'll get them together. Especially because he's the glass cannon.
It seems that there are some Shambhala loyalists in Nemesis's forces. As long as they're around, we can expect them to continue with their cruel experiments.
Then let's wipe him out then.
Yes, we have to. It's the only way to ensure nobody else will go through what I went through. We must obliterate them in the next battle. It's the only recompense for Edelgard's death.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, Edelgard, I'll save my talk on her until once we get to the credits later. Again, this is like my 5th or 6th or 7th playthrough of this game, so I got some stuff to talk about, I would assume. Who's back here? Your boy.
Let's see. I got the gist of it from Claude. Those who slither in the dark. They seem to be descended from humans who were forced deep underground after the goddess defeated them. They were trying to wipe out the goddess and her followers in hopes of taking back the surface. That's why they called themselves saviors. To their mind, they were.
The Agarthans, that's what they're actually called, and they will never reference them by their actual names because they only get used once in a cutscene. The Agarthans only get used one time. You only get to hear their names one time, and that's it. So they never acknowledge that their actual name is the Agarthans.
Shambhala, an underground city with an entirely different lineage than the goddess? Strange phenomena, driven by a source totally alien to the crest that we understand. Most unsettling. Could it be magic? Some manner of technology? I would like to know the truth of it all. Very much so. I want to know their history, their knowledge. Why do you suppose they chose this place to occupy?
Well, we honestly just don't know.
I intend to carry out multiple excavations around the city. There is so much to learn. Yet, first we face battle with a king who has defied time. Yes, the excavations can wait, I think.
Yep, so we're gonna have to erase all of them. Mass destruction style.
Please. So we're defending Fodlan's future, huh? Kinda makes my mercenary ambitions feel pretty small. So I'll think about my promise to Captain Gerald to protect you instead. That'll be my reason to fight.
Thank you.
If I can get you through this in one piece, that's just as good as defending Fodlan's future, isn't it? I just hope he's watching.
He is. He is. Alright. Who else do we have to talk to? Elva's still here. She's in the room. She's in the...
My big brother challenged Nemesis. He knew he couldn't win. He just did it so that his friends could escape. He emerged from the battle with a terrible injury. It's a miracle he didn't die.
I'm glad he made it out.
Yes, me too. Dying to save someone else seems to defeat the purpose. I wouldn't do it. He's alive, and in spite of myself, I'm really proud of him. Excuse me, could you do me a favor?
Okay.
My big
No, I don't even have that. I was like, that's the last quest. Give her a rare item and nothing else. I'm like, okay.
Please keep quiet. Rhea is sleeping right now. She does not appear to be very well. I beg of you, please do everything you can to prevent an assault from Nemesis.
That's what I plan to do.
Before the monastery was completed, there was a massive battle on the Tailteen Plains. In that battle, the warrior Seros defeated the fell king Nemesis and reclaimed the bones and heart of Sothis. Those make up the divine sword that you wield and the crest that you bear. Now, Rhea, Seros, lies helpless. The only one who can defeat this so-called King of Liberation is the inheritor of divine power. You have our full and unwavering support. Only you can do this. Please, save this world.
I mean, that's what I plan to do. And besides, this is just another month in the calendar. Saving the world from destruction. Like usual. Alright, let's go keep talking to people.
Thank you. You there!
Say, once Lady Rhea is fully recovered, she will resume her role as the Archbishop of the Church. Once she's in her rightful place, we'll need a sovereign to lead all of Fodlan. I think you or Claude would be ideal.
I agree. Oh, hey, Marianne.
Well, just when we thought we made it to the end, another enemy approaches. Can we be sure this battle is the last one?
I'm not sure.
Of course. There's no way to really know what will happen. Just a little further to the end. Come on, Professor. We have to win.
All right, let's do this. I thought of something funny while I was listening to her finish. Mercy.
We went through all that trouble to finish the war, and now we have to fight again? What does this Nemesis fellow have against Garreg Mach anyway?
Probably a vendetta.
A vendetta against Garreg Mach? That doesn't make much sense at all. At any rate, I'll do what I can to defend the monastery and Lady Rhea.
Yep, we'll do it together. Alright. There's only a handful of people left to talk to, so let's get talking.
Professor! I can hardly believe we're going to go up against Nemesis. Unfortunately, my doubt won't change the situation. There's nothing for it but to prepare for battle. We must protect Lady Rhea.
Yes, we must protect Lady Rhea. The character that you cannot marry in this route. We must protect her.
Okay.
We must. That still will always get me. Because honestly, I do not understand the concept of not allowing her to be anything in this route. Or even in her own route, really, but...
Just when I thought bringing the Empire down would end the war, you had to fight where? Against whom? Everyone's all abuzz again. Could another conflict already be looming? Will this war ever end?
It will. With somebody's blade getting stabbed in somebody else, and that's all I care about.
I have to tell. Did you hear? Our enemy is Nemesis. Unbelievable. It sounds crazy, but there's no laughing it off. We must make our move before they reach the monastery.
Yeah, everybody's like, this is unbelievable. Like, how could there be Nemesis? I'm like, bruh, have you not seen that we also got attacked by an ancient species called the Algarthans that also shot javelins of life that could destroy us in an instant and also had an underground city? I mean, it's pretty plausible if you think about it.
Nothing but unsettling news lately. One crisis after another. My fellow soldiers all seem strangely calm about it. Perhaps it's just because we all believe in you so much. With you around, we know everything will work out.
I mean, I got a heart for justice, so. And giving people something to believe in.
Professor, I just have to say thanks. For everything. I'm on high alert today, so don't you worry about a thing. This mysterious military force approaching Garreg Mach. Is it true that Nemesis is with them? It was Nemesis who led the 10 elites against St. Saros. It's the stuff of legend. But this time, he won't have the 10 elites on his side, right? He won't, right?
Foreshadowing. This man, for everything you have been saying here in gatekeeping, and you said the most foreshadowing thing ever. But thank you for the heads up. Because you just said something that probably nobody else thought about this whole time. Oh no. Danger. I'm not even going to talk to Anna. She doesn't even deserve it. I know I just offended somebody by saying that, but you know, I also don't care.
Hello.
There's somebody that I can talk to around here. Oh, it literally was this woman.
I thought I'd be able to move a lot of merchandise with a big sale to commemorate the beginning of the new age of peace. But until you've taken care of Nemesis, I'm just going to have to maintain my usual prices.
Bruh.
Hello.
We're gonna have a big sale
Seems
for
like
everything
once
in the war being done. Not even looking at your quest. Just
Welcome.
give me all of the elixirs.
Is that the one?
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
bunch.
No, thanks. Alright. Then I'm gonna sell. I thought I had booleans that I had to sell, but I guess not. Alright, cool. Alright. Only a handful more people to talk to, so who do we need to talk to? Lorenz and Raphael, and then we gotta go to talk to Claude.
Professor?
I believe. Yes. Oh, I didn't talk to Hunter yet?
Really?
I can feel a weight in the air. It is different from before. I do not know this Nemesis person, except what I have been reading. But I am not of Fodlan. My knowledge of this person is very little. Even so, I feel that I can understand it. I know that our enemy has great strength. I am feeling great fear for this battle.
Don't worry.
I have belief in you, Professor. Together, we will not be losing.
Yeah, so let's go and smush this guy,
Wow.
get him out of here, so we can go on living all of our best lives. Speaking of living our best lives.
Hey, Professor. Have you heard from Claude? He says he's gonna throw a feast if we win the next battle. Enough food to clean out the stores.
That sounds great.
So I'm super motivated to win. I'm gonna train every muscle I got. I'm coming for you, Nemesis. I'm coming for you, Feast.
Alright, at least we all have something to look forward to after this battle. Not only just peace, but prosperity and love towards one another in the merry chastity that we call a banquet.
A sudden invasion from Nemesis has plunged the Alliance territories into complete disarray. Against such overwhelming strength, my father and his forces had no choice but to retreat.
Wise decision, I suppose.
It was certainly prudent for him to avoid a fruitless death, but as things stand, he will not leave much of an impression on history. So, that falls to me. I will do all that I can for the future of Fodlan and the glory of House Gloucester.
Your father's so... Whatever. It's a father figure.
Professor!
You know? Typical Japanese RPG father figures that can't even do what father figures should be able to do. Alright, Claude. What's the last verdict?
What a magnificent tale. It's enough to make your head spin. Rhea's real identity is Saint Seros, and the one who attacked us was Nemesis, the King of Liberation. On top of that, you've got the heart of the goddess in you. My flabber is completely gasted right now. But now isn't the time for standing around in disbelief. Nemesis has made it this far for a reason. If we aren't victorious, that's it for Fodlan's new dawn. The world will be forever shrouded in darkness. This is the final battle. Finally. My friend, please give it your all out there.
Don't worry, Claude. Together, we can do anything. We've proven that so far, so I still hold that to be true. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, that's basically going to be it for this episode. Before we end off, we're going to go ahead and go to the training grounds one last time to see what the final battle will be. Ultimate sword training? Alright. This is our ultimate test of all of our strength and all of our skills. Let us go in one last time for the ultimate tourney. Claude, you're gonna get... Wait. Petra should get her redemption. No, wasn't her? No, it wasn't her. I think it was Claude. He needs to get redemption. Alright, Claude, you got this. And this way.
Sorry, but I must.
Yeah, I'm a dragon. Huh.
motion.
Got
I
him.
fought and won.
I'm a dragon. See? Defiant crit.
Strategy in motion.
Yeah, go!
A fitting outcome.
Defiant crit.
Hold a grudge if you must.
Defiant crit is such a broken skill. I hate it, but I love
Sorry,
it at the same time.
but I must.
Such a broken skill that exists for some reason. You know, I still have one more thing that I'd like to do before we end off, so I think I'm gonna do that. Personal quarters, please. So, I guess the last thing I really wanted to do was to tell you that I bought all of these, and all of our class abilities are basically where I would want them. But, I could also buy off some of the supports that I couldn't see originally. But, that being said, next time is going to be our support episode where we finish up basically everybody's supports that we can do. That being said, I'm also going to start changing everybody into the last uniforms for the final fight. And after we do all of these supports, we're going to be heading off and just completely finishing off the game. It's been a long journey so far, and basically we only have a few episodes left. That won't take very long, but I would like again to thank you guys for those who are watching now or in the future. And next time on Fire Emblem Three Houses, we'll see the final bit of support before we go to the end of this month, because honestly, I don't understand why it takes a full month for them to get the Garrick Mach, since they kind of destroy their way through everything else. But we'll make it on to the 31st of August, and we'll defeat Nemesis and put the world back to the state it should be in. So until then, I have been Multi126789, other known as Multi-Man, and I'll catch you lovely chows next time. So ciao ciao, until then.